Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Mahler with MovieWeb. It's a pleasure to speak with you today about this. I really enjoyed it on a lot of different levels. I guess Steffen, I'd like to start sort of early. Nick Frost was writing this. I think I heard you say that you had to convince him to star in it. Is that true? And why?
No, it was always he was always planning to. I mean, it was written for Nick. Nick wrote it for Nick, and I think that was perfect. And that was exactly when I came in. I mean, he wrote a script, which what already was like an amazing thing. Like I mean, I'm a big fan of his, yeah, from the beginning. So he wrote a script, and he would star in it, and he also co-produces the film. So I mean, for me, this was just the best intro of a chat you could have with someone about their script. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. I apologize. I think it was at Fantastic Fest. You two were talking about it and the most difficult aspect of it. And I think, yeah, it was something involved with that and acting. He has an anxiety sometimes that I think helps him. I guess staying on this subject, Maisie, uh, it's kind of a complicated character. I'm not going to get into anything yet, no spoilers, but uh, what sort of time did you spend as a family unit together and relating with Nick and Ashling? What sort of feelings did you want to sort of, because it feels very lived in, like you are a family. So, how did that come about? What was the bonding like? Any communication about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was very cool because obviously I feel like it all happened very quickly. Like we all kind of arrived in Finland and it was kind of all guns blazing from the very start. And it was good because I felt like we quite quickly all just started bonding anyways, just as people. Like we all really got along. Like we kind of felt like a little family unit. And especially because I think like me and Bash were living in like the same place. And it just we saw each other all the time. And I think because we started feeling comfortable around each other as people, I think that just kind of translated into the work. And then obviously then it was a case of, okay, well, like now how do they relate to each other in a way that's different? Jesse relates very differently to, Nick's characters. I relate to Nick. So it was kind of working out my different relationships with every single member of the family and then working out how that translates as a family unit, how that changes. But it was so fun to work that out because I think because we spent so much time together, you had just so much time to try different things out and yeah, and play with it.
Your necklace, by the way, reminds me of Uzumaki, the spiral. Um, yeah, Sebastian, on that subject, I mean, were you a fan of Nick's and Ashling's before, and did that help or create any sort of hindrance with developing that relationship? Because you have kind of a more antagonistic relationship with your father character here. Uh, Talk about developing that.
I mean, I'm a fan of both of theirs. And I'm fortunate enough to have worked with Nick twice before. So I had a really nice relationship with him going into it. And I think what was so wonderful about Nick and his approach to this was, I think, considering this all came from his mind and he created it, literally on day one, not even day one, before we begun, he kind of said to all of us, look, this is your character now. To Stefan, this is your film now. Like, go run wild, do what you want to do with it. And I think it was the first time I really felt like I had not only just free reign, but like someone just trusted me and trusted us and trusted Stefan to just do our thing with it. And so having someone as great as Nick and someone as wonderful as Ashling at the helm of it was like, on the whole, amazing. The only way it wasn't amazing was they are so good and so funny, and they're able just to stay in the world. And then me and Maisie are in the corner, like dying with laughter. And I think maybe 30% of the shoot could have been cut off if I wasn't laughing, but I was, so I had to retake things.
And Nick never corpses.
He
Like
never caught. It's
never,
so annoying.
not
Even
once.
when he
And he will
finds
just
something funny, He'll wait
Like,
till the cut and then he'll laugh. He's such a pro.
Yeah, in those situations, it's like you almost want them to laugh once. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
just
like stop
once.
being
I
perfect.
just want one.
especially because he was making us laugh so much. It was like, just once, I'd like you to be the one ruining
Yeah.
this day.
Um, yeah. Stefan, discussing this family unit like we are, it's interesting. You have this and Crazy House, I believe, also with Nick. Both of them sort of subvert a very specific genre. Um, and also like deconstruct the nuclear family in kind of sick ways. I'm curious if the two of them feel like a pair to you, or if there's other resemblances to the two of them in your mind.
I mean, it's obvious that I'm a family man. I just love love families. And I also love to, I don't know, fuck around with it, with the whole concept. So, yeah, of course, that is yeah, in a way, there's lots of links, but they're two totally different films. But what is a great thing about this? I mean, we almost shot those films back to back. So I had this wild year where I was in talks with Nick about Getaway. Then there was a window. Flip and I pushed in our film Crazy House. We gave the script to Nick. He was like, "All right, fuck it, I'm in. I love this." So I mean, I had the luxury to shoot a whole film with Nick just before starting production and shooting another film with Nick, which was Nick's script. So I think that was something very special. There was a shorthand between us because I mean, yeah, we were talking so much. Um, um, yeah, so that was pretty special.
Yeah, be an interesting double feature. Uh, at this point, I'm going to cut and create a separate video, spoiler video, which won't air for a couple of weeks, but it'll have warnings and etc. But I'd love to talk about the Predator prey switch up here, and for the actors specifically, Sebastian and Maisie. Did you have this sort of push and pull of how scared is my character, or is my character pretending to be scared? Uh, are they aware they're always being watched? Well, that seems like a difficult thing to maintain. Would anyone like to jump in on that?
I love talking about the Switch because it's no one knows in my friends and family yet, really, that it's happening. And anyone who's seen the trailer's like, oh, it looks really cool. Like, that's so fun. I'm like, just you wait. And I can't show them any of the cool stuff. And I spent like the whole of the shoot practicing the butterfly knife trick, and I haven't shown anyone yet. Um, are they scared? I think for me, the wonderful, cool thing about Sam was playing a character who's kind of the traditional moody teenager and then uh, blurring those lines with like, is he a moody teenager or is he just a psychopath? Like, that was such a fun line. And I think the conflict between Sam and with my character, Nick Frost's character, and kind of seeding that in early on and that like those moments of tension um was lovely. And then when everything happens and you get that scene and that like crazy shot where that conflict kind of comes to a head, um knowing that's where we were building to, like all those smaller moments of tension were so fun to lean into. um but no, I don't think Sam's afraid at all. I don't think he feels anything to anyone. And I I think it's almost like a video game to him. It's just kind of like, I think even the fact he has to pretend he's not just going to kill everyone kind of pisses him off. Like, I don't want to talk about your waffles. I just want to like stab you in the throat, you know?
Yeah, I love all the moments where your dad's your character your character's father kind of like he has a twitch like don't call me an
Yeah,
egg. And
don't
it
call me an
leads
egg.
to something incredible. Amazing. What about you? Because there is sort of like a psychotic twinkle in both of your characters' eyes in a way where you're uncertain, like, oh, do they have, are they doing something they're not supposed to be doing? But yeah, could you discuss that?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like gosh, it's so nice to discuss this part of it. Um, for Jessie, like the whole start is the act. When she starts killing, she is being herself. Like she is so bored by the mundane, like not getting to do what she's come here. She's like, when are we just going to get to start? Because I am bored. All of this is like it's so beneath what I want to be doing. And that's why I feel that a lot of the first half she's kind of very disinterested and like you could say, oh, she's a moody teenager, but it's not really that. She's just like, I was told that I would be getting some killing soon, and I'm still waiting at this point. So then the switch when she's finally, in her element, and suddenly she's kind of this very. I love the film Natural Born Killers, and a lot of like Juliette Lewis's energy. It's very like when she's killing, it's this kind of like playful. It's a game. It's like fun, and I think the switch from being someone who's very kind of blunt and disinterested and the mood is very down to as soon as she's killing it, it's like she's almost like a kid having the time of her life and giggling and getting to kind of play that shift was just so fun. And yeah, I was glad to finally give her what she wanted and let her do some killing.
Yeah, they do almost have a childlike glee to them. Your two characters. And while I'm discussing it, did you both have a favorite sort of kill or a favorite moment in that onslaught of a sequence?
I think it has to be the first shot we did where we had the butterflies and the first like weapon reveal was awesome. For me, I reckon. Although honestly, everyone like the mama scene where we're killing that woman, also so much fun.
Yeah, I loved Mama Mama. It was just because it was just so screwed up. Like everything about it was so fun to like do. And then I loved my machete. That was just I was an absolute menace on set with that. I was like they keep like put it down. I was like, yeah, I'm not playing with it or anything. But yeah, that was just very fun to do.
The heads on the spikes for the crew members, is that
Yeah,
it?
someone was like, take that away from me now.
Um, yeah, I'm curious for both of you, but also Stefan. It almost seems like this anti-Wicker Man thing because you have the genre of the very rural cultish community and the outsider coming in and being a victim, but this almost feels like English colonialist twist, like they're getting revenge in a way, like on this tradition of occult focused people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's in a way, it's sort of their independence. This Karantan play that they do every 10 years, and and of course it's Wordy English, who fucked everything up there on that island, and now they're back. Yeah, it's. I mean, they're bad. They're just bad people, and that's what's so great about it. I mean, you just love them, and they're just this really sort of fun family. And in the end, you don't know what to think in a way, and that's what I love, and that's what I sort of try to play with. So yeah, and I think we made that work. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Sebastian or Maisie, did you have any thoughts on this idea of like a anti-Wicker Man kind of thing?
Yeah, I
Amazing.
mean, it's that thing of like they are definitely not good people. And I think it's fun having like that kind of unreliable narrator, really, because you start the film and it's kind of you're like you're scared with them. You're every time you hear the noise, you see the people outside, you're like, oh God, like this feeling of we're in danger. And then it's suddenly kind of you're betrayed by your protagonists when you realize that they are the danger. Sounds very dramatic, but it's true. And it's kind of, it was just really fun to like do that kind of disguise of the victim and then flip it and actually be these kind of evil, murderous people. And as an actor, I mean, that's just really fun to play. And Stefan gave us such like, license to just go crazy with it, which we did.
Anything to add, Sebastian?
I think of because a lot of it we didn't do chronologically, but I think the first scene we did where we were in the like I guess our more true state, which is like the reveal that we're killers, was the killing Mats in the bed scene, and we're like stabbing, and there was just something about because we'd been playing with all these tensions and this like Max is so weird and it's so well played, and like even just hearing him on the monitor when he says stuff, you're just like, that's so creepy. Um, so to have that just release of like you're kind of cheering for them, but you're also like, oh, you guys are pretty fucked up. That's terrifying. Having all of that happening in that one scene, and the like physical, because obviously we filmed a lot of like Stefan wanted a bunch of stuff. So it's probably just like 10 minutes worth of footage of us just like bludgeoning this like pillow and having like blood spraying out. Um, so yeah, that was a fun scene and like a fun moment. And I think it was fun that the turning point in the film was also the first bit of like blood and gore we got to do in the shoot.
Yeah. A final question. I guess Stefan or anyone, is it possible to have a sequel for something like this? New Sun, unfortunately, or who knows, twist. But um, or
Prequel.
is the twist at the end? Does that prevent, do you think, a sequel?
It the twist in the end makes it hard, makes it a bigger challenge. But I think this is a very interesting world, and there can happen so much more. So
Mm.
yeah, I would not say that it isn't possible to make a sequel for this film.
They got away. All right. Well, thank you all so much for discussing this. It's a really cool movie. I appreciate your time.
Did you say got away as like the that's
Yeah.
great. I think that's great.
We've
Yeah.
already got a name. It's done.
Yeah, we've got a
It's
title.
fluid.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you
I
so much.
appreciate you.